Hello everyone, my name is Chloe. I am 15 years old. Did your parents ever tell you what to do, who to be friends with, and who to communicate with? Mine decide everything for me. Watch this video to the end and you will learn how my folks planned my life for 10 years ahead and how I destroyed these plans. We have a safe and happy family, I guess. I thought so, but it's not accurate. I go to a regular school. My whole day is planned out by the minute. Do you think I want to have more time? You did not guess. This all is about my folks. After school, ballroom dancing session. My mother says a real lady should be able to waltz. I'm not much of a lady, but she is my mother. After the dance, French lessons. My dad wants me to be a polyglot, so it will be kind of easy for me to get a job at any major international firm. Only, I don't bother about work yet. I'm only 15. But he's dad. Do your folks decide who you will be in the future? My mother also sleeps and sees me getting married and becoming the perfect housewife. What the hell is she talking about? I haven't even finished school yet. But my mother has already found a husband for me. That is Ethan, 17 years old, the son of my mom's friend. We chat with him when our folks gather for Sunday barbecues. He's not my type at all, but who cares? Yes, my folks kind of love me and care about my future, but it started to bother me. The school year is finally over. I passed all the tests perfectly, and my parents gave me a super gift. They sent me to camp for the whole summer. That's where I made friends with Vicky. She was also 15 and we immediately found a common language. She was cool. She could skate and draw graffiti. Vicky used to troll me when my parents called me. Her parents didn't control her that much. She decided what to do. I envied her. She had complete freedom. Vicky was always up with something. Once we painted the wall of our building with bright graffiti. When we finished drawing, the manageress came up to us and said that the director wanted to talk to us. Uh-oh, that meant we were in trouble. The director was furious, called us juvenile delinquents, and immediately told about it to our folks. My parents came right over, apologized, paid for the repairs of the wall, and picked me up. They could not believe that their decent daughter was involved in such a dark story. My mother forbade me to communicate with Vicky because she had kind of a bad influence on me. Damn, I didn't have any friends. I was done. I spent the rest of the summer in the city. It was depressing. I learned French and went to dance classes, and my mother signed me up for a sewing class, as if I could use it. Damn, it was summer outside and I was loaded with lessons. Was I a robot or what? One day, we were dismissed from dancing lessons early. Hooray! At least something went wrong and I had half an hour of respite. I came out of the dance class and saw Vicky. You couldn't do better. It turned out that she also attended the school, only hip-hop lessons. I complained to her about my parents. Vicky offered to bail on them, turned off my phone, and we went for a walk. I adored her. We wandered around the city for several hours. And I was cool. I did what I wanted and completely spontaneously. To hell with the plans. When it got dark, I turned on my cell phone and I had 20 missed messages from my folks. 20! Carl! I was going to get a good thrashing, but it was worth it. My parents were beside themselves. Like I was selfish and they were worried about me. What had I done? I was just walking. I had a vacation. My mother locked me in my room as a punishment. For what? At night, a message came from Vicky with an invitation to tomorrow's hip-hop party to her friends. How the hell was I supposed to get there? My parents were mad at me and wouldn't let me go. I told my mom in the morning that I really missed Ethan and wanted to meet him. Have you ever deceived your parents? My mom said yes, and my dad drove me to Ethan's house. When Dad left, I immediately rushed to Vicky's party. It was cool. Everyone danced hip-hop, the guys rapped. I met a nice guy. In short, the party was a success. I called my parents and told them I was staying at Ethan's and would take a taxi home. My parents said okay, and I relaxed. I hung out for another hour and went home. Didn't I get burned? But there was a surprise waiting for me at home. Think it's nice? No such luck. My parents, Ethan's parents, and Ethan himself were sitting in the living room, face palm. It was obvious to everyone that I hadn't come back from Ethan's. My folks demanded an explanation, and I admitted that I was tired and decided to hang out with my friend Vicky and relax. My parents were furious and shouted at me. I was kind of ungrateful and all that. And I told them to get lost with their plans. How many times could I be their puppet? Then everyone went to bed, and in the morning they calmed down. At breakfast, my folks offered to go and relax with the whole family in nature. I supported this idea. We could use a rest. And we went into the woods. Well, I thought so. But suddenly, instead of the forest, we were at the gate of a building. It was a closed private school. What the hell? My parents told me that I needed to be urgently isolated from harmful contacts with the outside world, so I would spend my last year of education in a closed school. This was their next brilliant idea, damn it! I begged my folks not to leave me in this prison, but they didn't hear me. They took my phone and left. How do you like it? I was completely isolated and didn't know anyone. I was killed, but what could I do? In the room with me lived a girl, Annie. She was also 15. I was in a bad mood and didn't really want to talk to her, but she had a phone. I needed it. I wrote to Vicky that I was in this prison and I needed to be rescued urgently. I waited for an answer, but Vicky seemed to ignore me. So much for a friend. Vicky's silence upset me, and I decided to spend more time with Annie as a distraction. Annie gave me a tour of the school. We played ping pong, board games, and rehearsed a dance for the fall ball. A whole month had passed without my noticing, and I had already kicked back and was not waiting for Vicky's response, and I began to like school. It wasn't so bad. Oh, I'd rather start school. I already missed it. But one night, I was awakened by a rustling in my room. It was Vicky and the guy from the party. What were they doing here? I wrote to Vicky a month ago. She could at least say hi to me. Vicky didn't answer me, supposedly because of the conspiracy, and she spent the whole month plotting an escape. But who needed it now? Vicky said I'd been brainwashed and dragged me out of bed. I pushed her away and she fell to the floor, tripping over a chair, and her hand grazed a cup from the bedside table, the sound of which interested the guards. They called the police, and it was a failure. An hour later, they arrived at the station, scared and nervous. My mother almost had a heart attack. I wrote an explanation and took all the blame. I was the one who had called Vicky to save me. In short, we were all released. Thank God. I went back to school, but I was expelled because of the incident. And this was sad. My parents and I went home. My folks scolded me all the way. They were dissatisfied with my behavior. I got used to it and listened stupidly, but when we got home, I couldn't stand it and started crying. My mother started crying too and hugged me. Dad began to calm us down, and in the end we were hugging and kissing. My parents said they had missed me very much. I missed them too, to be honest. They are my folks, after all. My parents surprised me at breakfast. It's a good thing I was sitting on a chair. My mother said that they discussed everything with my father, and now I could decide what to do outside of school. There was a senior class coming up, and they didn't want to press hard on me. Wow, it turns out that I have normal, understanding folks. I decided that I would continue dancing, but change style. Who is dancing ballroom dances now? Well, I'll finish my French course. You never know.
What if I rush to Europe after school? If my story resonates with you, please like and subscribe to my channel.